In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now it begins.
Now it ends.
Guess who's back? Back again. Back. Tell a friend.
What's up, Game of Thrones? It's your boy DJ11 here, back at you with another one. And what's up? It's finally here. The long wait is over. I can't believe it. I gotta tell you, I'm just a little tiny bit sad. I mean, of course, I'm so pumped. I'm so glad it's finally here. But 6 more weeks and it's all gonna be over. I mean, yes, of course, we're gonna have the books. Of course, we're gonna keep it going. But the show, the thing that kind of brought us all in, the thing that kind of brought us all over and brought us together is gonna be done. And that is just a little bit sad. But all great things must come to an end, and this too shall end. But man, while it's here, I'm going to enjoy the shit out of it. I can't believe it. I knew episode 1 was going to be a little light. I knew they were going to do a lot of setup and pre-planning for what's to come, but I just have a feeling the rest of this season is going to be hype. I am lit for it. Let's get into this episode. Now, right out of the gate, I was absolutely in love with the new intro. I love the new opening and all the things they did with it, what's to come, and the things that have already passed. I have liked it so much that I already made a video of it. If you haven't seen it yet, go back to the channel and check it out. I think it's worth a look. Now, from earlier trailers, we'd already seen parts of this, and we knew it was kind of a recall back from when Bran was watching King Robert and his procession coming to Winterfell. What did you think when you saw Arya move to the side? Do you think she actually felt the boy behind her? Has she gone full ninja on us? Or was it just a coincidence? The way she was looking at him and then looked back up at the procession, I think she full on felt him coming. Arya has gone full ninja. I like this little comparison, how the village boy is climbing the tree while Bran the little lord was climbing the castle walls. Our girl Arya looked like she wanted to call out to Jon so bad, but she just couldn't do it. She had to lurk in the shadows and see what was what first. Speaking of seeing what is what, why is Tyrion so quick to make eunuch jokes but so offended at dwarf jokes? If you can't dish it out but can't take it, you need to quit dishing it out. Come on, little T. Varys has a point. And I was wondering, how in the world can Dany be shocked that she's not being welcomed with open arms in the North? She is now the second Targaryen that made a king of the North bend the knee. And another Targaryen burnt 2 of their lords. So what made her think that people were going to be like, hey, yay, a Targaryen's here? But hey, what better icebreaker than a couple dragons, right? And we all knew this was coming. We all knew that was Arya looking up at dragons when we saw it in the trailer. I like how when Sansa first saw the dragons, she was awestruck, but then saw the big picture and got smartened up real quick. She needs to start plotting and scheming. It's not going to be as easy to get rid of Dany as she thought it might. And if I'm being honest, I gotta say, I'm just as happy with this overview of Winterfell as I was with the flying dragons. It looks so clean. I have to admit, I knew Jon seeing Bran again would be emotional, but I didn't realize it would be that emotional. Jon really lit up. He was so happy to see him. You just knew the meetup between Dany and Sansa was going to be catty as shit, but you didn't know it was going to be this good. When Dany walked up and was all full of charm and like how beautiful Sansa was, and Sansa just looked her up and down and was like, yeah, Winterfell is yours, your grace. Like, yes, please. Oh, it was so sweet. And you already know, the only thing that could top Sansa's cattiness is my little she-bear, and she brought the thunder. Oh, if looks could kill, my girl would be the ultimate assassin. Dany and Sansa are just about to let the cats fly when...
We don't have time for all this.
Dany listens to what he has to say and instantly knows that he's about business and knows what he's talking about. She knows the threat is real and we really don't have time for this. Back up into the Great Hall, and I see nothing much has changed. Little Lyanna Mormont is still the one and the true queen ruling the hall, and Sansa just sits back and looks smug while Dany is not appreciating not being treated like a queen. People from the North are some fickle bastards, and I'm glad Jon stood up and said, listen, I don't really care about your titles or your crowns. This is what we need to do to live. And they know it, they just didn't want to hear it. Time and time again, Jon keeps showing why he's the one that really should be the one true king to rule them all. And then what are they trying to do with Tyrion? Between this scene and the next one with him and Sansa, they really are trying to dumb him down. I don't know what they're trying to prove. It probably means he'll be the one that ends up sitting on the throne in the end. And as bad as they're trying to dumb Tyrion down, they're doing the exact opposite with Sansa. They're trying to make her look like a genius. But what was so smart about sending a little boy to his death? You just got through saying you heard that the dead were coming through the wall. You know that the last hearth is the first castle from you to the wall. Why would you send a little boy back there to die? Yeah, you're a real genius. Ah, we get it already. Tyrion dumb, Sansa smart.
I used to think you were the cleverest man alive.
Out to the Godswood for another amazing Stark reunion, and how does Arya keep sneaking up on people? She truly is a ninja now. I like how when Arya asks, how did you survive a knife through the heart, Jon says, I didn't. She didn't even question it, just runs up and gives him a hug. This was an amazing meeting, and one I was truly looking forward to. I also like how when Jon tried looking down on Arya all Big Brother style and saying how lame Sansa was, Arya just looked up and said, yeah, things done changed. Don't look down and try to talk to me like I'm a little kid. That was great. All in all, I think this was absolutely the perfect reunion, and I was happy to see it. All I can say about this scene is, why was Cersei so happy when Qyburn told her that the wall had fallen and the dead had made it through? What is this big master plan she has brewing? I can't wait to find out. I know my book readers had to appreciate this scene. It was straight out of The Forsaken, talking about his whole crew of mutes and not having anybody else to talk to, and yeah, I like the little intermingling between the show and the books with this scene. It was pretty tight. I just haven't quite figured out if Euron really is just after the Iron Chair, or does he have a bigger master plan? I still believe that he's the one that was getting tattooed under Quaithe when Jorah went to talk to him, and he said this man has to go to a Shai, and those tattoos were his protection. If he had to go to a Shai, what for? Is there still more to be revealed? Speaking of my book readers, what do you think's going to go on with the Golden Company? Are they going to flip and turn on Cersei and try to take the throne for themselves? Are there a bunch of Blackfires there just ready to come home? And they sure made an awful lot of references to elephants. Is there going to be some kind of secret flip and the elephants really are there and they're going to attack with them when they least expect it? Euron's crazy, cocky, and fearless, and Cersei likes that, but my man has a point. He did bring her justice for her daughter's killer, and he also brought her 2 armies to fight her war. It is about time that my man got a little payment. Time to pay the piper, Cersei. I don't know, everybody's so quick to say, no way would Bronn kill Jaime or Tyrion, they're his best friends, he wouldn't do it. But he did take the crossbow, and there is this.
If I told you to murder an infant girl, say, still at her mother's breast, would you do it without question?
Without question? No. I'd ask how much.
So I guess the real question is the wagon outside enough? Yeah, you were fine, but I really wanted those damn elephants. The real question here is, what she was or what she wasn't. Was Cersei ever even pregnant? I'm starting to think that she never was. She was just doing it to play both of her silly little brothers. Now this was definitely one of the weaker scenes for me. I mean, come on, all these badass crew members on the Silence just get got by Theon and a couple Ironborn dudes? I'm not really buying it. And Theon, I get it, he's trying to show that he's a Stark and a Greyjoy, so he's going to go back and fight for the Starks to redeem himself, but I don't know. I think he was hoping Yara would say, no, you're coming home with me, so he could go home and be safe. Damn it, you were supposed to say no. Davos thinks Jon and Dany make a cute couple and think a marriage proposal might be in order. Varys isn't quite so sure. What are you up to now, Spider? Now, I'm not exactly sure what Dany meant when he looked at Jon and said, your sister doesn't have to be my friend, but I am her queen. Like, she'll respect me or what? What are you going to do to Sansa?
You bitch!
I would have liked to hear the rest of that, but then they had to go and do the dragon thing, and man, that was definitely, as much as I love the dragons, how are you just gonna go Disney on it like that? That whole Jon riding the dragon was just not cool. I'm sorry, but just not my cup of tea. I didn't mind the callback when they did get to the waterfall though, and when she was talking about they should live here for 1,000 years, that just made me think that one or both of them is going to be turned into a white. And if I had to pick, I'd say it's going to be Dany turned into the Night's King's queen, and she will be the new Night Queen. I think that is what's going to happen. That's why when they asked, would Dany give up her crown for her people? You did, Jon. I think absolutely. Dany has done it and will do it again, and she will become the Night's Queen. And why does Drogon keep staring at Jon like that? Is he going to toss Dany off and make Jon his new rider? Or is it him already being completely aware that Jon is a true Targaryen? I don't know why, but the Arya and Hound reunion just didn't quite do it for me. I thought there'd just be a little more emotion there, but that was their relationship, so I really can't complain. How about that Arya Gendry reunion, though? Hey, you look good. I mean, yeah, you're not really a silver-tongued Gendry. Maybe you can impress her with your forge. I know I'd be impressed if anybody can figure out what that weapon is that Arya wants him to make for him. I'm under the belief that Tobomote taught Gendry how to reforge Valyrian steel, and he's definitely going to reforge Oathkeeper and Widow's Wail back into ice. Too many kings and queens in the kingdom. For them trying to build up Sansa for being so smart these days, she sure is being thick-headed and dumb. What part of she needs those dragons and Dany's armies to live does she not understand? Now, the Dany telling Sam about his brother and father is definitely my favorite part of the entire episode. And it's not just because out of everybody I talked to, I'm the only one that figured out it was going to be a huge deal when she told him. Everybody thought that just Tyrion or Jon would gloss it over and that would just be that. He loved his brother, and there's no way that this isn't going to be a problem. I think him and Tyrion are going to start plotting, and Dany's going to have a true enemy on her hands. Now I'm telling you, Fandom D Saint, that Bran worked those horses so Sam would stop and see him sitting there, so he'd have to come talk to him because it's time to tell Jon the truth.
What are you doing out here? Waiting for an old friend.
Oh, you know that is going to be the juice when Jaime shows up. That's going to be so great next episode. Jon's so tired and just wants to rest, but nope, now it's time to be king.
I gave up my crown, Sam. I bent the knee. I'm not king in the north anymore.
I'm not talking about the king in the north, I'm talking about the king of the bloody Seven Kingdoms.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Your mother was Lyanna Stark,
Say what?
and your father was Rhaegar Targaryen.
Say what?
You've never been a bastard?
Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard.
Listen to me, bastard.
Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard. Bastard.
Bastard. You are Aegon Targaryen, true heir to the Iron Throne.
What did you?
So yeah, I know you just got your whole world flipped upside down, but hey, it's time to be king now. Now, I certainly always appreciate the comic relief that Tormund brings to the screen, but I just have a feeling my man is not apt to make it too much longer. In episode 2, 3 at the latest, he will be gone. You will be missed. His like will never be seen again. And how desensitized have we become with this show where little kids can just get stabbed, stuck to the wall, lit on fire, and we're all like, yeah, that was kind of crazy. This show is just unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, my mom called me right after the show and said that looks like a Targaryen sigil. I think it's a little bit reversed, but I do see what people are talking about, and I think they may be onto something, because they say only Targaryens can ride dragons, and... So all in all, a pretty good setup for the season to come. Not a bad first episode at all. Only a couple things that were kind of a little bit but you know, after the long dark night, I was so happy to get any of it. I'm not complaining. Can't wait to see episode 2. We're definitely going to get the next one out a little bit earlier for you. Hope everybody has an absolutely fantastic rest of the week. So until we see you next time, game on.
What if he doesn't want me to?
Then I've enjoyed your company, Jon Snow.